What's up, guys? This is Mr. E coming at you from Mr. E Pool Lessons and Quick Tips in Pool. How you guys doing today? Hope all is well with you guys, and I hope you had a happy and safe 4th of July. Okay, let me tell you what Mr. E is into now. Alright, I just got back off a lovely vacation. I went on a cruise on Mardi Gras, Carnival's Mardi Gras, 7 days. I had the opportunity to be with my family and train at the same time. So what we're doing now is we're preparing for the fall season. 4 months of tournaments. Last game, last major tournament, did pretty good. But there's a group of guys in my social club they're not pros, but they're pretty good. I have beaten them, but I haven't beaten them the way I want to beat them. So I decided to go into full stealth mode. Now, I said to myself, before I leave this earth, I would like to shoot exactly like the pros shoot. So to do that, I had to go to pro land. And here we go. Alright, when I mean go to pro land, I mean if you want to shoot like a pro, you got to study the pros. So what I did was I studied the pros and I picked out 3 that I really, really like. One, Joshua Phillips. He's a young player, but his pre-shot routine, the way he stroked, proper body alignment, cue ball control is freaking awesome. So I'm studying him, and I'm going to steal much as I can from his game and put it in my game. You want to shoot like a pro, you got to study him and you got to train like a pro.
Welcome to the Billiard Network, the home of Global Pool on YouTube. Like and follow us to enjoy it.
I also picked 2 women players, Christina Koch and Jasmine Ocean, because I like both of their styles as well. So I've been studying these 3 players and researching them and stealing much as I can steal from their games and put it in mine. And once again, you want to shoot like a pro, you got to study the pros. Now, in my studies of the men and the women, they all have a perfect pre-shot routine, proper body alignment, and a perfect stroke. So that's what I'm going to tear down and rebuild in my game, is my stroke, and build my way back up. Here we go, guys. It's time to tear my game apart and rebuild it from my stroke straight up, just like you put a building up. That's what I'm gonna do with my game. I tore it apart. Now I'm gonna rebuild my game from a stroke first. The stroke will be my foundation, and I'm gonna rebuild my game one piece at a time, starting with the stroke, and put a strong, devastating game together, just like a strong building. For I am a champion. I am a champion. I'm a child of the Most High God. I'm going to train and train hard and put my game together to get me another trophy. For I am a champion. So I decided the first thing I'm going to start working on is my stroke. Right-handed and left-handed. So I went into stroke training every day for a couple of weeks, just focusing on my stroke. I'm trying to get that professional stroke just like the pros. So I have 2 stroke trainers here. They set up different. The other one is on a stick is attached to a stretch band that's attached to the mirror. I have 2 mirrors on each stroke trainer. double mirrors on each stroke trainer. This is attached to a piece of rubber. This will give me that pause in the back of the stroke that the pros had. So I have two different stroke trainers set up two different ways to improve my stroke. This is what I work on every day. I came addicted to working on my stroke. I worked on my stroke constantly on all three stroke trainers, cutting the angles, putting your chin on the stick, keeping your head down. I became addicted to it. I just kept on working on my stroke, left-handed, right-handed, just kept on. I wanted to have a pro stroke just like the pros. Day and night, constantly working on my stroke. Just constantly working on my stroke, day and night. I was turning into a stroke monster, constantly working on my stroke. I was determined to get a professional stroke. Okay, guys, come on and take this ride with Mr. E. Take this ride to greatness, to take your game to a whole new level, to a pro level with Mr. E. That's what I'm getting ready to do. So if you want to step your game up and go to the higher level, come on, take this ride with Mr. E to a professional level. Okay, after studying the pros, it's time to start shooting and putting that stroke together. After all the stroke training I did, I took the cue ball off the table and start shooting. Just start shooting shots. I shot over 2,000 shots. No cue ball on the table, just working that stroke. Working on cut shots, angle shots, bank shots, right-handed, left-handed. I just shot much as I possibly could shoot for about 3 weeks to work on the stroke. Constantly. Just shoot. You got to get that stroke locked in like it's muscle memory. Keep your head down. Cut your angles. Look at the table well. Now it's time to study the pros some more. So in my studies, I start looking at the way they proper body alignment, the way they look at the table, the perfect stroke, the way they put their chin on the stick, the way they stay absolutely still till the shot is complete, and their cue ball control was awesome. So I said, okay, it's time to tear my cue ball control apart and start working on that. And that's exactly what I did. I dropped my cue ball control like you drop a building. And start from the foundation with my stroke. Now I'm working on the cue ball control, just like the pros. You want to shoot like a pro, you got to train like a pro. I start studying how they put shots together, how they study their patterns, how they maneuver the cue ball from shot to shot. It's very important. So I really start studying how they move the cue ball. I went online and picked out a drill that will help me. Now, like I say, this might work for everybody, but it worked for me. And I'm going to show you in some more clips that I'm going to show a little bit later how this strengthened my game by studying the pros and do exactly what they do. It's very simple. The amateur players that want to step your game up, get a pro that you really like, man or woman. Study everything they do, from their proper body alignment, the pre-shot routine, eye patterns, cue ball control, the way they stroke the stick, the body mechanics. Study everything and steal it and put it in your game. It really, really will improve you. Now it's time to study cue ball control. If you can control the cue ball, you can control a game. So here I go at the beginning of my cue ball control training to take a game to a whole new level. Once again, control the cue ball, control the game. Then I had to go into eye patterns. you have to have a certain eye pattern from the cue ball to the object ball to the pocket. So I had to study eye patterns. The pros do it. I got it from one of the programs. I started doing it as well. Start beginning to see the line that goes through the cue ball to the object ball through the pocket by training on eye patterns. Here I am working on my stroke, cutting the angles. This is a one ball drill. You see, when you stay down on the shot, chin on the stick, stay down each and every shot. Cut the angle. This is a 1 to 6 drill. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my Marlo. That's my assistant over there, asleep in the corner. Supposed to be working. Okay, here we go again. I got the jump helmet on. That's to keep me from jumping up. Pre-shot routine each and every time. Stand down, chin on the stick. Follow through, just like the pros. Cut the angle. Boom. Perfect stroke. You want to be a pro, you got to train like the pros, baby. And that's what Mr. E did. Rebuild your game. Tear it apart and rebuild it from scratch. Visualize. You got to visualize each and every shot you take. You got to focus. The whole game, you got to stay focused. Think about nothing but the shot, one shot at a time. I'm on the cue ball control now. Making a shot. Setting the same shot up and sending the cue ball to a target on the table. Alright, hit the target, move the target. Set the same shot back up. This will help you with your cue ball control tremendously. Set the shot up. Set your target up. Make the shot. Make the cue ball land or come close as you possibly can to your target. There you go. Also, while studying the pros, I ran across the clock system. It's a navigation system for the cue ball. You learn the clock system, and you could be able to put the cue ball anywhere on the table that you want by the clock system. You have to study this as well. You can look up the clock system in pool and it will come up. It's another thing that I studied. I'm really opening up my box of secret to you guys. I know some of my competitors probably be seeing this video as well. But this really worked for me and I want to pass it on. So I'm opening up the treasure box and giving you all out the tips, the things that really work for Mr. E. Took my game to a whole new level. I opened up the treasure box of secrets. Constantly studying on the computers, studying the pros, constantly studying, constantly. This Mr. E, working on my game, just like I used to work when I was working construction. Hard. Tore the game apart. Constantly working on getting better and better. Okay guys, I'm explaining the clock system and how it works. How you start off all the shots at 12 o'clock. You aim up at 12 o'clock and then you decide what you have to use. Mainly you try to stay in the center of the cue ball. So 12 o'clock center and 6 o'clock. center cue ball training. You got to study that as well. But I'm showing how the clock system works to navigate the cue ball on the table anywhere you want it to go by the clock system. There go Mr. E, Player of the Month award. Player of the Month. That was back in the day, but I still got it, baby. Player of the Month award. Working the stroke again. Follow through, stand down. Constantly. I think this particular draw I did 2,000 straight in shots, one ball. Just to work my stroke, chin on the stick, follow through. Boom. I was determined to get a perfect stroke. Just like the pros. Alright, after all of that hard work and training, this is what I put together. Studying the table, cut the table in half, work one half of the table at a time. If possible, chin on the stick, mini strokes, stay down on the shot. Just like the pros, baby. Just like the pros. Cut the angle. Look at my cue ball control. I'm putting the cue ball exactly where I want to. Just like the pros, baby. Clock system is at full effect. Moving the cue ball. I know exactly what to put on it to put the cue ball where I want it to go. Now I got a little out of line that time and went to the rail, so I'm going to take ball in hand. But I will run the rest of the rack. Perfect cue ball control. Perfect speed right off the rail. Perfect setup for the next shot. Perfect. Perfect setup for the next shot. Perfect. I'm telling you, you want something bad enough, you got to work on it. You got to put the time in, and that's exactly what I did. Alright, this is cue ball control drills with the clock on the table. 12 o'clock. Just really supercharged my game right here. Really worked, guys. It really worked. After all that training, guys, I finally begin to start running racks. It's all coming together by studying the pros and imitate what they do. It really, really works. It really strengthened my game and quickly. Proper body alignment, cutting the angles, chin on the stick, just like the pros, baby. Cue ball control, perfect. Perfect. Getting behind the shot, seeing the shot line. Getting down on the shot, staying down on the shot. Boom. Perfect cue ball control off the rail. Studying the table, just like the pros, baby. Mr. E is getting game ready. Like I said, it might not work for you guys, but it worked for me. So I gotta pass it on to you guys. Everything I talked about in this video really, really worked, and it really supercharged my game. I'm an amateur. I got tired of not getting no better. I start studying the pros, I start getting better. So I know there's plenty of amateurs out there that probably was in the same boat that I was. You got to a level and you couldn't see yourself getting no better. But this what you do, baby. Get you a pro player that you like. 1 or 2, I got 3. And you study their games, and whatever you could take from their game and put in your game, you do it. And it really works. Now I'm cracking them and somebody else is racking them. I'm telling you. If you want to rack all the time like you've been doing, don't do the video. But if you want to crack them and let somebody else rack them, check a brother out. I'm telling you, this stuff really, really works. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, you can run rack after rack. It really, really works. You'll strengthen your game before you know it. Guys that got their own table, you really could do these drills and go to a new level. Now, I've been studying the pros. Some of them, Christina Koch, practice 6 hours a day. The average one of them do at least 6 hours. Some of them more than that. Due to my injuries, I'm retired construction. I have a lot of problems medically with injuries. I'm gonna try to get 2 hours in a day. That's what I'm working on. But some of the younger players, if you can got your own table and you got the time, if you can get that 6 hours in, you probably can't do it every day, but even if you got to do it on a weekend, you got to get the time, and you got to put the time on the table if you want to get better. But you can take your game to a whole new level. You can run rack after rack. Give your opponent a heart attack. Man, boy, you hitting, you ain't missing nothing. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting ready for the winter and the fall season, which is 4 months before the end of the year. This is the last part of the year. Next time it'll be a trophy match. I'm getting ready for that. I need another trophy on my table, and that's what I'm going for. So you guys, this stuff really, really work. So, guys, this stuff really, really work. So if you want to take your game to a whole new level, if you want to be like a bomb, if you want to be the bomb diggity, and have them racking all the time, check a brother out. This from the 4th of July. I was right on my deck. I ain't had to go nowhere. Right on my deck, seen all the fireworks. So if you guys want to take your game to a whole new level, and you crack them, you have somebody else rack them, run this video and work on it. To Mr. E upload again. I went in my book box of secret for you guys. I hope you put it to use. I'll see you on the table. Mr. E out. Peace. May God be with you.